Hello everybody, Skyrim here, back again with another Diablo Immortal video. It is that time again, of course. It is weekly reset, so we're going to go ahead and update all the things here, cover as many bases as possible, and go over the current events, things that are going to be upcoming, some odd things along the way that you may have noticed or not, and so on and so forth. So this is pretty much another comprehensive thing. So first and foremost, what I like to do anyway, to give you an idea what I start out the week every time with,
Welcome to my own
familiar expeditions, get these started as soon as possible. Back on Shadows again. The contracts for your familiars takes like 4.5 hours if you have 4 bonded go, which is pretty ridiculous, so I'm probably going to do this one myself. So I usually get to the point where, now, the season reset again on the accursed towers, which honestly I think that whole system is a little dumb. I'd like to see us at least keep the towers, like, kind of cycle through them a little bit more frequently, because once the season ends it just sucks, because then you have no buffs, no nothing for a long time before you can acquire the next one and start the whole process over. And then when you go into Tower Alliance, you can get 3 towers, and that's nice and all, but then you have that many more to sort out. And yeah, so last week we had 3 towers, and with my familiar expeditions I would send them on 1 tower hard and focus all the way till it gets all 3 chests completed, or almost anyway, and then I'll switch my familiars off of that one onto the next tower, and then so on and so on until those are done, which I usually can finish that process off by usually about Wednesday. And then during that time I would do these manually myself, the contracts if I'm in Shadows, and the keys as well. But then after I cap the towers, I usually end up sending my familiars off, which is what I'm going to do right now here, and send them 1.5 hours for running the keys, which is very quick to do, I know, but sometimes some of us have done this so many times in the game already, we're just kind of burnt out on it, and I'm like, you know what, go. Because sometimes, and also in the past, we had the moment where we did not get all 4 keys in that one run through the Sanctum a while back, and I did a video on that a long time ago, but I think fortunately it's been fixed and pretty consistent since. But there was a time where that wasn't a guaranteed thing, and so that's why I still kind of prefer to do it this way with my familiars, because they will at least get the keys for sure that way. So, you know, just something to keep in mind. That's just what I do. This is my personal preference. I'm just kind of covering all bases here as the start of the week. And then also, now that it is the new start of the week, here we go and check our mail. We get our weekly Battleground rewards, challenge rift rewards, that kind of thing. And then also there's all kinds of rumors in circulation now on the next major update. This is all prep work, all of this. Okay, I guess this would be a better title, I guess, for the video. This is all prep work I've seen floating around. All kind of speculation still. I was honestly hoping for some kind of another heads up on patch notes of some variety today. I haven't found any yet myself as of this recording. Maybe they'll roll something out here in a little while, which I honestly hope that they do, but I'm not holding my breath to that. I already checked both the Blizzard site and the Chinese NetEase site, and so far there's nothing new anyway at all, or anything of substantial value, which is unfortunate. So we're still kind of, I guess, somewhat left in the dark. Or, you get the partner program guys to come out and dump a whole bunch of stuff, and then they'll still speculate for a time, as we all seen how the cycle goes, and then we'll be like, oh, what about this? Oh, well, this could happen. And now bringing it back around, though, what I'm getting at with this is prep now, because rumor has it we're gonna have like a 900 Paragon push. We're getting close to it anyway, in all honesty. Well, a little off. We're still a little ways off. There's talk of it happening around the 19th of this month, which is possible. They've pushed us before, and they pushed the server Paragon up before, but the way they've been putting everything on a slow drip as of late, though, I don't really see that happening because they're just, you know, speeding the process up, and everything they've done for a while now is wanting to slow the process down because, well, let's face it, we keep getting the same content just with a slightly incremental increase in difficulty, incremental increase in stats, all that kind of usual stuff. I mean, it's part of a, you know, an ARPG and a game of this stature, so that's nothing really new there. It's just they've definitely kind of tacked back on a lot of things and slowed a lot of things and progression down, which that's mostly for a longevity aspect, so can't really, I guess, unfortunately blame them there. But well, it remains to be seen. We'll just have to wait and see. But that's just kind of, you know, my 2 cents on it and what I have to say about that for now. But anyway, let's go ahead and throw in one other thing here really quick. Well, really quick. I say that every time, but let's go ahead and do a mirrored jewel run. Right? We're doing a whole bunch of things. Now, I saved this until after reset because I was already capped in my dust for the previous week, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put that towards next week's build-up. So I'm just going to go ahead and wait. I'm not in no hurry for it. The standard drop rate is still ongoing for another 9 days here, so I might as well take advantage because, well, the mirror jewel will be over before this ends, actually. Mirror jewel runs this entire week. So far, everybody's luck has been terrible. I am not expecting mine to be any better. You've seen in previous videos my luck on the past ones, so I think that's all the luck I'm ever going to have again. And it was owed to me at that point. So, yeah, I don't expect to see that ever again here. In all honesty, I don't even know where I would be as far as the pity counter goes because of how they were dropping during that spat that I did for the last Gem Surge event, of which is another rumor. And speculation. Well, actually, it's more of a speculation. I don't even know if it's a rumor at this point. But my personal take on that is I feel there may be another Gem Surge coming up with the new 5-star gem. We've had that with Roiling, and the Colossus engine. Oh, did we have that with Roiling? No, we had Roiling in there, but it was all the gems. The first Gem Surge that we had. So that was all gems comprised, and then they swapped it up with the Colossus engine when they released that one not long after, and that was the extended Gem Surge, which probably won't happen again. But we had that one with the Colossus engine, so I don't want to say it's safe to say, but I'm pretty more certain that it probably will happen with the Bloodflow new 5-star gem. But I don't know what the other one will be because they'll probably just keep them in pairs and roll it forward. Because if they do a full Gem Surge event on all the gems, that plays a little too much for everybody to catch up to quickly in their eyes, anyway, the developers' eyes, that is. So they'll probably continue to keep going forward with the 2 gems selection. Right? So there's that. But yeah, anyway, that's just what I think is going to happen. Take it for what you will, of course. You know, I'm not pulling this off of... Now, this one in particular, I'm not pulling off of anywhere off the internet that I've found. I'm just kind of spitballing this one. And I think it's pretty safe to say that we probably will get one with the Bloodflow gem, as seems to be what they like to do. Because there is some money for them to be made in people buying up crests to put towards that event. So, yeah, that's probably going to be a standard quill going forward. But anyway, as we can see here, I'm going to go ahead and do my Mirror Jewel attempt here. I'm just throwing caution to the wind. I don't even care about the pity counter and none of that stuff. I only have a meager 26 of the legendary crest currently, so I'm going to burn a 10 stack right now on this. So let's just go ahead and do it. I'm not even going to try to, you know, run a 10 before this and say, oh, well, maybe I can increase my pity counter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If anything, I'll just get a little bit more gem power out of something. Hopefully there'll be something in there. And honestly, if it's a 5-star, either be an upgrade gem that I could use or be a 5-star gem that is trash. And I can just literally use the gem power because I am starved in gem power as a free-to-play. Very, very horribly bad. So we're going to go ahead and run this. Yes. And I will see you at the end if anything is substantial or not. Here we go. Fire it up. And see you on the other side. Alright, here we go. What do we get? Not a white light. So, yeah, there it is. Well, give me some gem power, I guess, eh? Not a whole lot of that either, unfortunately. I don't see a lot of I don't even see a lot of 1 stars. Oh, there's a vault. I think this is a 2-star. Yeah, okay. Well, there's a little bit of gem power there. Oh boy. Lots of 1s. Sadness, disappointment, depression. It's fine. It's whatever. The usual stuff. Now, I did find there was a post in the Diablo Immortal Discord about somebody did a mirror jewel, I think it was, and they had like a bunch of 1 and 2 stars, and they were like, "Oh, I bought some crests," and they were a light spender, and they were all upset and like, "This stuff has to stop," and blah 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 blah. And unfortunately, I responded with the first time hanging meme, you know, to it in response because, well, let's face it, RNG is RNG, and you're literally gambling, as we've all assessed to this point, I hope anyway, especially in a mobile game format, that how it goes. That how it be, it's how it be. Let's pull these off because I don't want to burn these now. I'm saving whatever I can from this point going forward on these crests for when the new gem is released, because there probably will be a gem banner, maybe a gem surge event to go along with it, like I said, but there will definitely probably be a gem banner for it, and it will have increased drop rates when it's released, as what they usually do whenever a new one comes out. So I'm going to hold off on that. My meager 16 crests, I will try to build up as many as possible along the way, which does remind me, I will stock up on this one again. I usually don't because the platinum is just kind of stupid, but I'm going to go ahead and snag one now and get them any way that I can. I already got the monthly from the Hilt Trader. I'm not in Immortals anymore, so I cannot get 1 per week from the Hilt Trader, so that kind of sucks, but it is what it is too. So there we go. That was my run of it. I'm going to save this email again, so that I can track when the date was done on this one. There is no expiration date on these, so I always save them. As you can see here, this is the previous one from May. All right, and let's see. I got a wolf heart, the wolf heart from that one, and that was the 5-star I got out of there. But anyway, now going back to this one more time really quickly, I do have some XP emails in here, which I usually claim at the start of every week, and I'm probably going to stick to that now. Now, some could argue, oh, you might want to save these for when these don't have expiration dates either. I could save up all these ones with the experience in them for the last minute push when we get, you know, we might be getting pushed up to 900 Paragon for the 19th of this month. Who knows? That's still speculated. We'll find out in the coming days, of course, and then I'll give also myself actual confirmed notes when they are released. I'm really, you know, the speculation stuff kind of still bothers me. I'd like to I like more pleasant surprises when it comes to games still. I know it's not a thing of the past, granted, but I still prefer that sometimes myself, if any way possible. But some people just gotta have to know the stuff way ahead of time. Yeah, it helps for planning to some degree, but at the same time, I don't know, it kind of takes the fun out of a lot of stuff. But that's just my 2 cents on that as well. But anyway, yeah, I'm probably still going to claim this stuff because it's still a little early yet. We don't have any confirmed information yet. And again, as always, at the start of every week, you get the most bang for your buck on your experience whenever you claim all your stuff from your battle pass, because the server Paragon goes up another 10 levels, so then your experience deficit is not as harsh. So that's why I wait until Monday every week. I'll claim everything on Monday, and then I let it all build back up until the following Monday to claim it all again. Unless, of course, the Battle Pass is ended, which it did this past Saturday, which was absolutely weird. And I already made note of that in the previous video. But anyway, rambling on now. I just wanted to cover all the bases here. The current events ongoing here. Oh, make sure you get... where's it at? Inferno Trials. Make sure you get your... Ooh, it's over today. So if you happen to see this video and by tomorrow, then it's too late. Survivor's Bane ends today, as of this recording. So try to get in there when you can, get your stuff done, because you need every one of these events to get all the rewards in this tally here. There's only a few that you can miss. I've noticed they do keep it pretty close, so you do want to do all those timed events whenever they come around. And in this case, it was Survivor's Bane. Buggy Bane is what I like to refer to it as, because the cemetery map was a mess. The trees, the cemetery wall, the walls, and the little tombstones would not like load up for me for whatever reason. So they were bugged out. There was like huge gaps in the flooring that you could see, and you couldn't obviously get to them. And it was weird. It was weird. So it was definitely Buggy Bane. Buggy Bane. And speaking of another B name, we also have the Trial of the True Evils. Bale was released. I was disappointed in this one. Highly disappointed, and a lot of other people were too. I'm rambling now, I know. If you're still here, hey, I appreciate you hanging in. I'm just covering all my thoughts on a lot of stuff, playing catch up. I had some power outages here and couldn't get a lot of things done for a while, so here we are. Yeah, Bale. I was disappointed. This is just the dungeon version. This is just the dungeon version of the Bale fight. I was hoping, very, very much hoping this was going to be. And from the image here, from the face, it does look like this face. This is the Bale that is in the Worldstone Ancient Cradle fight in the storyline. This was the best designed Bale, in my opinion anyway. I liked this version of Bale the most. And I think it's because he was at his, I guess, a little bit more vicious because of what happened to him, obviously, and the state that he was in. I would have liked to have seen this fight instead of the dungeon one, but this is all we got. But yeah, anyway. The Diablo fight says 6/9 unlocked, but we all know that this whole entire setup here, the dates were wrong, because the next challenge tasks aren't available until the 10th. So that's when the Diablo fight will be unlocked in this here. And then we will have all 4 unlocked. So you'd have to wait until the 10th, not the 9th, because they can't get ish right, you know? So, yeah, that's that one. Wrapping things up here with just checking in on everything. Shady Stock is still ongoing, of course. And but yeah, make sure you get your Survivor's Bane done if you haven't already. They just need to leave this in as a permanent fixture. Event or not. They can have it in for the event as a timed thing, sure, but just leave it in as a permanent. I mean, we've said this time and time again, but anyway. Alright, that covers everything here. We did a mirror jewel run in this one, of course, and you've seen, you know, what lackluster that one was. That's the vast majority of the collective consensus of everyone that I've seen so far. You will have some outliers. It's all RNG. It's all RNG, as always. But anyway, until next time, everybody, stay safe out there in the real world, and as always, take care of yourselves as best you can, one day at a time. It's all we can do. Until next time, see you.